With the Brandon Aiyuk saga reaching its climax with an official trade request, there are plenty of suitors looking to bring in the second-team All-Pro wideout. And as the season approaches, the stove is only going to get hotter. But realistically, where could we see Aiyuk suiting up come Week 1? Here are the top 5 landing spots for San Francisco's disgruntled star. Number 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's hard not to start with the team that's been linked to Aiyuk multiple times throughout this entire process. The Steelers are in search of veteran wide receiver help following the departure of Deontay Johnson via trade. And the pairing of Aiyuk with an emerging star in George Pickens could become a nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators. On top of this, newly hired offensive coordinator Arthur Smith is adept at using the run game and play action to create big play opportunities, which perfectly complements Aiyuk's play style. Finally, it also provides the Steelers' new QB tandem of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields with another already established pass catcher, so Aiyuk in Pittsburgh could add yet another piece to an already revamped Steeler offense. Number 2, the Washington Commanders. A reunion of college teammates on a team trying to finally get out of the bottom of the league? I think I speak for every Commander fan when I say yes, please. This move is a no-brainer. The team just drafted Jaden Daniels, number 2 overall, hoping to finally have found a franchise quarterback. On top of this, it just so happens that he has an established relationship with Brandon Aiyuk from their time together at Arizona State. To make things even better, Washington already has its wide receiver 1 in Terry McLaurin. A combination of Aiyuk and Scary Terry would give the team 2 big play assassins, with at least one of them being in one-on-one coverage each snap. This pairing, alongside Daniels' dual-threat abilities under Cliff Kingsbury's air raid offense, could be absolutely lethal. Oh, and just to note, newly hired Commanders GM Adam Peters just so happened to spend the last 7 seasons in the 49ers front office, so the Aiyuk ties are everywhere in the nation's capital. 3. The Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers made a splash in free agency by moving receivers Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, both aging veterans who they felt weren't worth a big contract. The only issue is it left the team with holes at these positions. Aiyuk is only 26, so he's the perfect candidate to acquire and pair with quarterback Justin Herbert, creating a strong duo for seasons to come. It would give newly hired head coach Jim Harbaugh's offense a much-needed boost. Except for many other teams, the price of Aiyuk is most likely a mid to late round draft pick or 2, and possibly a lower-end player. But for Los Angeles, it may be a bit higher. Many think it would cost the Chargers longtime edge rusher Joey Bosa, alongside a 3rd or 4th round pick to land the wideout. Moving on from Bosa would free up over $26 million in cap space, allowing the team to pay Aiyuk immediately. But the question is Aiyuk worth a franchise legend? The simple answer is yes. Justin Herbert has proved to be a good quarterback, but he's lacked the weapons to get over the hump. Of course, Keenan Allen was great at his peak, but he had taken a step back from being the standalone wide receiver last season. And this isn't a way of excusing Herbert from that horrendous playoff performance where the 30-point lead was blown in 2022. But it is very apparent that the Chargers haven't had the personnel around him. Aiyuk could be that big piece the team needs to help them in the AFC West. Number 4, the New York Giants. Despite not quite being up to par with some of the previously mentioned teams, it would be in the Giants' best interest to bring in Aiyuk. With the departure of star running back Saquon Barkley, the division rival Philadelphia Eagles, the team lacks an established playmaker. Sure, Malik Neighbors, who was taken 6th overall in the draft, could break out and be the playmaker this roster so desperately needs, but that has yet to be seen. Bringing in Aiyuk would force opposing defensive coordinators to respect him and plan around him, creating more openings for the team's relatively lackluster running back room. It would also help the development of Neighbors as he would face less wide receiver 1 treatment. While it wouldn't turn the Giants into an immediate Super Bowl contender, it would give them yet another key pillar to build around alongside Neighbors and a strong young defense featuring names like Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. Number 5, the San Francisco 49ers. It may not be the most flashy or a trade destination at all since he's already been there, but there's something to be said when a team goes to 4 NFC championships and 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 seasons. Clearly, Brandon Aiyuk's best fit is in Kyle Shanahan's offense alongside Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle. They've been successful but haven't been able to get the job done when the lights are the brightest, so moving on from their wide receiver 1B would signal a change in San Fran. Nothing like a rebuild, of course, but a new-look offense in a way, as one of their key pieces would no longer be there to haul in touchdowns. We saw a similar dance in the Bay Area in 2022, when Aiyuk's All-Pro teammate Deebo Samuel asked for a trade when negotiations weren't going well. Samuel ultimately agreed on a 3-year, $73.5 million contract on July 31st, which is right where we are right now. So while it may make sense to trade Aiyuk and save money, since he's so adamant about his contract and the two parties seem so far apart with their numbers, the return might not be worth it. To put it simply, Aiyuk on the 49ers has only warranted postseason success. The guy flat out produces for them. So if the team wants to win, it's in their best interest to get a deal done. And like they always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So while Aiyuk seems hell-bent on a trade since negotiations continue to lead nowhere, it's only a matter of time until some sort of move is made. but each destination brings with it a different situation, and honestly, career trajectory for the star wideout. No matter where Aiyuk goes, he's going to improve that team. But will we see him contending for a Super Bowl or just helping a team take a step forward from last season?